Stand and recite the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before we start with anything else, I guess I was gonna ask for a moment of silence for Dennis Hummel. He passed away in November here a few weeks ago. So former county commissioner for about, I believe, 15 or 16 years, Marlis had looked up, and a lot of dedication and service to Emmons County, both as an elected official and as a citizen, and he will be missed. So take a moment of silence for Dennis. All right, so now with that, we will move on to the oath of offices for Craig Miller, James Gardner, and James Vanderhorst. So, I believe Joe, are you administering the oath?
Sure.
If you guys want to stand and follow after Joe.
Yeah. All right, so we raise our right hand. I, and state your name,
I, Jim Vanderborn,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of North Dakota,
and the Constitution of the State of North Dakota,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Emmons County Commissioner
of the office of Emmons County Commissioner
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Each of you wants to sign your oath of office, notarize it once they're completed. Sure.
Hi, Gary.
Well, congratulations, gentlemen. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
So next will be the approval of the minutes. Has everybody read the minutes? Marlis had kind of sent a corrected version because you printed too much.
Fixed it out, something didn't carry
Something
over.
didn't print right, so it was just, the minutes weren't necessarily wrong, there was just other stuff included in it, so. Everybody read the minutes, are there any corrections?
There's a correction. I believe last month we nominated Commissioner Eberly to be on the canvassing board. I did not read that in there.
Oh, okay. You volunteered to be on there? You
Um,
want me to add that on there? I can.
Well, we talked about it, didn't
Okay, I can put that
we? So
on
there's a record of it.
there.
Were there any other additions, corrections? Nope. If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes as amended.
I'll make a motion.
Commissioner Materi makes a motion to approve the minutes as amended, is there a second to that
I'll
motion?
second.
Seconded by Commissioner Vanderhorst. I did that, cause I'm gonna have to get used to that, that's.
Yeah,
That's
a longer name.
So just to be clear, the amendment was to add that Commissioner Everly was appointed to the canvassing board at the last meeting. That's the only change to the amendment, so. The motion and a second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes approved. Next will be the approval of the agenda. Are there any additions, subtractions, comments or concerns? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Commissioner Gardner makes a motion to approve the agenda. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Materi. Is there any more discussion on the agenda? Not hearing any. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Agenda is approved. So, First item on the agenda for old and unfinished business will be an annual maintenance certificate for county and federal aid projects. Basically what it is we agree that, we're gonna uphold our end of all the negotiations over the federal aid projects, maintenance. Fence line encroachments was a part of that, and the reason why the annual maintenance certificate wasn't approved at the last meeting was there was still debate over the fence line issue on Commissioner Materi's property, but, this maintenance certificate does have a deadline of this month, and that fence has been in place for many years, so I think we can still approve the annual maintenance certificate even though we're in negotiations on how we wanna settle that encroachment, so I would suggest that we approve the annual maintenance certificate so we don't jeopardize other projects while we're dealing with the one that we're working on. And whatever outcome we come with that will be an individual matter and not causing issues with other parts of the county that aren't having encroachments or issues, so, I don't know, if, like with the newer commissioners, if you wanna look over that agreement, you know.
I looked at
Or if you
it.
have looked at it, I mean, it's, I don't wanna say cut
We
and
didn't,
dry.
I didn't understand it.
Well, and it's one of the things that kinda comes with some experience. I've been a part of, approving about 6 of them, and there's still, like, you read stuff in there, and until you deal with a specific aspect of it on a project, you're like, I don't really know what that all means. It's a big legal document that covers your butt on a lot of things, but
Yeah.
the county has certain obligations, and, we're just basically agreeing that we're going to commit to those obligations, so. I would entertain a motion to approve, table, or deny the annual maintenance service agreement, or certificate.
I'll make a motion to certify it.
Commissioner Miller makes a motion to approve the annual maintenance certificate, is there a second to that motion?
Also,
Seconded by Commissioner Vanderhorst, is there any more discussion on the annual maintenance certificate for county federal aid projects? Not hearing any, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Certificate is approved. I'll sign that one later, Marlis. Next item on the agenda will be the employee manual for employees volunteering for the fire department and EMS. I believe we had a bit of a recommendation from Tanya. The way I read it was that basically it's kind of an excused absence. And if there's any time they wanna get paid for, they have to take paid leave. Is that kind of the way I'm reading it, or? And that doesn't mean we have to do that, that just kinda seems like more of the common, policy by other counties and subdivisions, so, and I don't think we necessarily have to make a decision today, but we should be working on a solution at some point. Unless somebody wants to adopt something today or whatever, I'll entertain a motion to do any of those things, but,
We have the 6 county meeting coming up, I'd like to ask these other counties how they handle it, get some more ideas.
it's not a bad idea, like I said, I wouldn't need to rush into a policy, I think as long as we're working on a solution, I think it's good that we have some other subdivisions, that, you know, if we wanna be the county that pays part of it, or, I mean, I'm on board for anything, cause like I said, the number one thing I agree with is I agree with our guys, our ladies, everybody supporting the local volunteers, so.
Yes,
I don't want it to be a deterrent, whatever policy we create should be motivating folks to help out with it. Now, however you wanna handle it, you know, can be discussed, but I think as long as we're creating an environment where it's condoned and supported to help the volunteer groups, whatever, so, any other input or anything, or if not, I think just kind of an agreement that we're gonna continue to work on it, or?
I think that's a good idea.
I think that's
I'd like
good.
to see what other counties are thinking.
Well, yeah, that 6 county meeting's coming up, I think, next week, so, you know, I would say a good overall goal would be by January, February to start nailing down a
Right.
policy, so we don't have to keep running
Yep.
into this and leaving everybody in limbo, but
Yep.
I don't think we need to rush into it if we're not sure how we wanna do it, but I agree with Commissioner Miller, I think asking the 6 county meeting is exactly what that's for. Getting feedback from other neighboring counties. Yeah, also, yeah, for the new commissioners, I would highly recommend attending. It's a good way to kinda network with some other commissioners, there'll be other new ones there too, doing the same thing you guys are, it's it's good to go. So I think for now, we'll just kind of, we'll leave employee manual, that we'll leave this on the old and unfinished business until we solve it, so we'll just move that on to next month and continue to look into it.
Commissioner Magrum, I'd
Yes.
like to ask about our, county handbook, since we have new people on. Maybe about going through that, read through it and see something, if you wanna change it or update it or something, maybe in a meeting or two, we could
Do that.
discuss that, update our,
Do you have a handbook? Okay,
update the handbook here.
Yeah, I don't have one.
don't you?
It's online, you can,
Oh,
It's on
yeah,
our
I
website.
could get it when it's online. I will,
Yeah, when I came in and did paperwork,
yeah, I
We
can
can pick a hard copy up down in the office.
we can print one out in the office.
No, I can get it at home. I did see it there, I should have read
Okay. Next item on the agenda will be, farm equipment damage for the road project, rocks and ruts in the field. This pertains to the Daniel Lock situation up there by 17th Avenue, up by the Carlson Crossing, 17th Avenue, whatever name makes you familiar with that project. I believe the update was, Marlis had talked to Sharon Nagel, who's our current agent for the North Dakota Insurance Reserve, and she had suggested that we submit a claim and whatever evidence we have, just because now that she knows about it, she feels like it would be in the county's best interest, to probably just submit a claim, you know, and if, sounds like the insurance reserve will conduct their own investigation and whether or not it's worthy of getting paid out or not, so.
it. Leave it up to the agent.
I would say that'd probably be best to just leave it up to them if it's kind of a toss-up in here.
Cause I got a phone call when I was on vacation from a gal named Jan with the state.
She's a claims
Insurance?
adjuster.
Oh, yeah, she's a
She
judge.
contacted you too, did
Yes,
she?
Okay.
yes.
No,
So I think, unless anybody's got any other input, the proper move by the board would probably be to approve to submit a claim. I don't know if that's actually been technically submitted, or at least for the record, we probably should have that on that.
It's submitted, isn't it?
I think-
I'm not sure, is it actually
Did they submit it to the state insurance?
Yes, I talked to,
okay, so you did forward it
so
to
it's
Sharon.
already submitted, right, okay.
Alright, well, I don't think anybody has a problem with this, I think for the record, we should probably just have a motion
Sure,
that we should do it, so I would entertain a motion to, turn in a claim to North Dakota Insurance Reserve for this Daniel Mock situation.
You can target it.
I think it's already turned in.
I'll
We
make
should,
it.
I
I'll
believe we
make
should,
it.
we
I'll
should
make a
have a
motion.
motion for the record. I don't think anybody's in
Okay.
disagreement we're gonna do it, but we
No.
should be on the.
I'll make
record.
that motion.
Commissioner Gardner makes the motion
second
to
it.
submit a claim to Insurance Reserve, seconded by Commissioner Materi. We're now in discussion, so again, the motion is basically for the record. If we all agree on it, we might as well just put it in the form of a motion, so that there's no confusion that we're gonna do it. And I don't dispute any of it at all, so the motion is to submit a claim on behalf of the county to North Dakota Insurance Reserve in regards to the Daniel Mock equipment damage.
Yep.
There's a motion and a second to approve. Is there any more discussion? Not hearing any, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That situation is handled for the moment.
there's probably a deductible on there, I'm not mistaken.
I'm not
what
quite
it is.
sure with the
No.
subdivisions, I don't think.
it would be under our liability if anything,
Oh.
which is no deductible.
Yeah.
No, there's,
Okay.
I would imagine any information we don't have, we will probably find out shortly.
Well, she wanted pictures.
Well,
Two items
yeah,
and
and
oh,
so,
well, you guys were out there.
Right.
Yeah, we were out there, I know
I
about that.
remember I listened to the meeting and said that, yeah.
okay. So the next item on the agenda will be a permit to maintain a fence within the county right away. The south half of the southwest quarter, section 28, township 131, range 76. For lack of a better term, also known as the material fence. No offense, Dan, it's just people know that, you tell them the legal description, everybody's like, where the hell is that? So, that permit that you submitted, have you made any changes? Or, okay, would you?
Joe, I submitted it to Joe and Marlis, I think Joe had a chance to take a look at it, did you?
Yes, he added that, the existing fence would be at 33 plus radar feet from the center of that, 89th Street to get it off the section line right away. And
I
then-
gave you all information in your packet this morning.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay,
It should all be in there, and it should be a copy of the survey from the old engineer certified.
so this is the old survey though, right, has the
No.
fence been moved?
This is the new survey, well, it's the survey as it stands today.
Okay, I got the
Okay.
wrong sheet here then or something to this one.
Here, you look at this.
Oh,
This is just a
Oh, yeah, no, I
larger
got it.
certified
I got a
version.
copy.
right there.
Okay,
Yep.
And this is the, yeah. So Dan, is this across from Albert?
Right from Albert going to the north.
That's what I thought.
Yep. Going around that lake bed.
Yeah,
It's been setting there since 1996.
yeah.
He gave it to you.
But
Yeah, there
I
are.
got a letter sent to me, so we gotta be in compliance now.
Yeah,
So that's
So-
what this is all about.
has the fence moved?
No, I haven't moved it until it was approved.
Okay,
right.
We talked the last time and you mentioned something, so I made a correction in this permit.
Sure.
On the footage from 32 to 33 plus. And Joe can explain that,
Well, I guess the state was concerned with the clear zone, we kept that language in there, that 30 feet that they had mentioned, that it had to be off the center line, but because the road happens to lie on a section line, it creates some more, right-of-way issues. Section line needing to be 33 feet off on both sides, so he's agreed to just move it a couple of feet to get it to that.
Yeah, remove.
even though I'm out of the clear zone,
Yeah,
still move it back beyond that 33 feet. So I gotta move the fence roughly about a foot to the north.
okay.
Yeah, just on the west end. The other end, I think it's at 38 or 39 feet like the diagram shows. Am I right on that, or am I wrong by stating that?
39.72.
Yeah, there's just a couple, there's maybe a
39.72, 40
spot.
feet. And on one end, it's 32 feet.
So the clear zone wouldn't really, if a vehicle would go into the clear zone, you'd probably, it's not actually a clear zone, is it? It's kind of steep there, isn't it? I mean, yeah, whatever,
See, it used to follow the contour,
yeah.
but when that road got built up, they pulled it from all them hills and
Oh,
brought it and filled that lake bed in,
yeah, built it up.
built
yeah.
it up. So then you got a steep embankments.
It's pretty steep.
On the north side, it's steep, on the south side, it's shallow,
Yeah.
because that's the, what do you wanna say it, the shoulder of the lake.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm in the belly of the lake,
yeah, yeah.
and on the, so that's the way it is.
well, I guess speaking from my own experience and the reason why I at least suggested being outside the 33 feet was, the clear zone is 30 feet. That's kind of the engineer's golden line, and the same with the federal government and everybody, because that's the safety zone.
Mm-hmm.
If you're outside the 30 feet, their concern on safety is little to none. The next barrier would be the 33 feet, which is the statutory, that's the
Right,
law,
1 foot.
33 feet off the section line. I believe in allowing that encroachment was, for lack of a better term, on the board's behalf, would have been a little hypocritical, since we've had situations where we're trying to get people outside the right of way. Once you get outside of 33 feet, that additional right of way, for the most part, is for construction purposes and other reasonings, because of the wider road, the faster speeds. The wider the right of way is better, if we can honor them 75 and 100-foot right of ways where we need to, we must do that. But when there's natural obstacles, you gotta try and just do the best you can. I think if it's out of the legal right of way and it's out of the clear zone, there are other counties and subdivisions that have permitted encroachments like this, and I believe that probably puts us in that window of consistent with other groups, and engineers have confirmed that. Commissioner Terry's looked into it, and I did ask around to some too, and they said the same thing, it's not common, they don't do it a lot, but they do it when they feel it's necessary, so. With that, this permit says 33 plus feet, the expectation is as soon as reasonably possible, springtime, whatever, that fence will get moved. And, it'll get verified that it's moved and be in compliance with this permit, so this permit will then put us in compliance with our certificate with the federal government and the state government. Is that all understood?
Yes.
That expectation?
I can do it now, right? Do it
No.
today.
No, I think
got
a reasonable expectation is as soon as the weather
Yeah.
cooperates, March, April, May,
Yep.
you know, when
Yep.
typical
Yeah.
fencing weather comes back in. So I would say that's a reasonable agreement. It's been in place for how many years? Another couple months, as long as we acknowledge this is the path forward.
Yep.
I feel like I'm comfortable enough to move forward with it. So with that, does anybody else have anything more to add on it? Are there any issues in the permit language itself? The only thing that was brought up a little bit is I did talk to Mike Urbanius and I showed him this permit just because Wool is named in it, just so that he got to lay eyes on it.
Yep.
He didn't feel like it was necessary to put Wold in on anything, cause they were just the engineers that verified everything, so.
Okay,
I don't know if we have to take it out, but his kind of belief was that it really wasn't necessary, cause they didn't feel like they'd be liable.
Liable.
They're just the guys that verified the work, they don't,
yep,
they didn't tell us to do anything or say anything, they just showed us where everything is, so.
they built the road back then, over the engineer.
Well, they were the
I didn't know
engineers
how
for
to
that,
do
but
it.
basically they were just, I mean, the responsibility lies on the government subdivision, which is
Yeah,
us,
yeah.
they're just the contracted engineers, so. He didn't feel like it was necessary to put it in there, it does basically indemnify him though, so I don't feel like it's bad to put them in.
Should have taken it out.
I think we could just leave it, because it basically spells out they're not responsible, but his thought process is, it wouldn't matter if you had it in there or not, but I don't see a problem with labeling it in there, so at least we just know off the bat, it's like, well, it says in here they're not blamed, so.
Yeah,
So with that, I'd entertain a motion to approve, table, or deny the permit to maintain a fence within the county right of way for Daniel Materi.
I'll make a motion on that.
Commissioner Miller makes a motion to approve.
Approve it.
I'll second it for you.
Commissioner Miller makes a motion to approve the permit, seconded by Commissioner Vanderhorst. Is there any more discussion on this permit? You're recusing yourself, or you're?
I need to.
Okay, yep.
I feel I need to.
That's fair, let's make sure it's known, so Commissioner Materi is abstaining due to a conflict of interest, so with that, we have a motion and a second, is there any more discussion? Not hearing any, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Permit is approved. Next item on the agenda will be the voucher for mowing the right of way for the city of Braddock. I haven't found any information that states that we're responsible for mowing that piece of right of way since it's in city limits, and
So is this-
the assumption,
Yeah.
right, so that yellow line there was basically that,
Yeah.
Mark Bruin, who's been mowing the county shop property
Yeah.
there for us, was also mowing that with the understanding that that was the county's responsibility, where the only information I received is that John Hammer, who was a former county commissioner, used to mow that, and I think he was mowing it basically for himself and for donation to the community.
Oh, right.
And it was kind of assumed that he was doing it for the county, so I guess my opinion on it would be that we deny the voucher, and if somebody has any information that would prove otherwise, then we could discuss it later, but I haven't found any information that would make it believe that it's our responsibility to mow that specific piece of the ditch. I don't, unless anybody else has any other information on it, I would say just to close the matter, we deny the voucher. It can be resubmitted if there's any other information, I'm fine with that, don't wanna be militant about it, but I haven't found any reason why we're responsible.
I agree.
So with that, I'd entertain a motion to approve, table, or deny the voucher for mowing the right of way in the city of Braddock.
I make a motion to deny the voucher.
Commissioner Materi makes a motion to deny the voucher, is there a second to that motion?
Seconded.
Seconded by Commissioner Miller, is there any more discussion on the voucher for mowing right of way in the city of Braddock? Not hearing any, all those in favor of denial, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, voucher is denied. So,
Hey, Joe, I have a question. Joe, does this have to get recorded then? For the fences, does this survey have to get recorded before
We might have to record the permit and survey it.
the permit also?
Yeah.
And the survey, yeah,
Okay,
I was informed, to submit that survey and file it right now. Yeah.
okay, we'll do that.
we have some agenda items for, county deeds and such, but at 9:30 we have a phone call with, Brock Law Office in regards to the Summit Pipeline, so don't know if I wanna
Start,
take in on anything else yet. We can probably move these county deed stuff till after that phone call, or. Is anybody coming in for any of these county deeds or anything?
I don't believe so.
Okay, well, it's,
Did you guys discuss them last night, James? At the meeting?
how about the joint powers agreement, yeah, it's number 8 on miscellaneous, that's probably something, cause that's, I'm assuming this is again our, annual agreement with Burley County to, share in emergency services with Mary Singer. Doesn't look like anything's changed. Looks like the fee is, still a base monthly fee of $1,500. And, the agreement goes from January 1st to December 31st.
That's total share, the 1,500.
$1,500 a month is our share, that we pay to Burley County, just for shared services. There's a lot of little things that she probably doesn't even charge us for if it's really super small stuff, since we're that's kind of a part of the base salary, so. Really, the only time we've ever gotten an extra bill from Mary is like a flood situation, something where she's just really putting a lot of time in for us, otherwise. That's kind of basically like a basic retainer for the few, phone calls and certain documents if she files or does anything like that, it's kind of included in that, so. Unless anybody else has any questions or discussions, I would entertain a motion to approve, table, or deny the joint powers agreement with Burley County for emergency management services.
so moved to approve.
Commissioner Vanderhorst moves to approve, seconded by Commissioner Materi.
Yep.
Is there any more discussion on the joint powers agreement with Burley County for emergency management services? Not hearing any, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Joint powers agreement is approved. No, well, we can, probably call Derek a little bit early. I just know that was kind of a hard time, so we should stick to that, so. Hi Derek, it's Aaron Magrum with the Emmons County Commission.
Hey, Aaron.
Hey, you are, on speakerphone with the board. It is,
All right,
now
I,
9:30.
Switched over, sorry, I switched over to car audio, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, it seems to be coming through fine.
Yeah,
Okay, great.
So, now that it's 9:30 and we are on to the agenda items, would you suggest that we go directly into executive session?
Yeah, I mean, I can maybe just set the stage if you haven't already by just saying that I do wanna go into executive session for the purpose of attorney consultation, and specifically related to, the recent decision from the Public Service Commission on the citing proceeding for Summit Pipeline and the issues obviously related to Emmons County. And so with that, I just wanted to say what the topic was prior, and we can, if you guys wanna move now to go into executive.
Alright, so the proper process would be to recess this current meeting and enter into executive session. And then for that, we would have to clear the room. And then we will, stop the audio and go to a voice recorder or a recorder. That's, Marlis, you have that ready to go, or Josh?
I'll record it, but
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
just
you're
gotta go-
recording it, but in like a separate, yeah, so you're recording it for,
you want me to stop this one now?
yeah, well, we